game offers a wide variety of fragments, each with unique effects, so you can mix and match to create your own playstyle. For example, tank fragments make your hero tougher and deal damage back to attackers. Marksmen who pick range-enhancing fragments can safely deal damage from afar. And that's just the start! Countless other powerful fragments and combinations are ready for you to try. As rounds progress, the Annihilation Tide starts shrinking across the map. Heroes outside the tide take sustained damage. Master this mechanic, and it can swing the battle in your favor. For instance, heroes with knockback or displacement abilities can push enemies into the tide. Surprise your opponents and watch them struggle against the sustained damage. The new 3 vs 3 mode, Chaos Clash, is coming soon. With a variety of chaos fragments, every match brings a fresh experience. The shrinking zone adds fast-paced, thrilling action, and new map buffs further empower heroes. Exciting, innovative, and powerful new strategies await. Are you ready to try them all?
Clouds, follow my flow. Let the shifting cloud witness our adventure.
Creators, streamers, and gamers. Listen. Do you wanna get famous?
Well, now's the chance. We are kickstarting our journey with MOA 5v5 community, connecting creators, brands, and tournaments like never before. If you love content, collabs, and gaming energy, TechDX is where you belong. Whether you create, sponsor, or host, TechDX is your bridge to visibility and growth. Tactical solutions by gamers for creators, built for impact. Let's grow together.
A brand new mode is coming to MLBB, Chaos Clash. Team up in trios, begin at level 3, and fight on a fresh map with no minions or turrets. During the preparation phase, grab chaos fragments to boost your power. As the match goes on, the Annihilation Tide emerges, pushing the action to the limit. Here's a closer look at how this new mode works. Chaos Clash is a multi-round 3 vs 3 mode. Wipe out the entire enemy team to win the round. Teams lose HP each time they are defeated. If a team's HP drops to 0, they're eliminated. Rounds continue until only one champion remains. When there's an odd number of teams, one team will sit out the round. After certain rounds, heroes automatically level up and earn gold. Use this time to buy equipment and boost your power. All full equipment except boots costs 2,000 gold. From round 11 onwards, teams earn bonus gold. Adapt your loadout and strategy to stay ahead. At the start of each round, you will receive random chaos fragments that boost your power. You can also refresh fragments to re-roll their effects, with 2 refreshes per round. The game offers a wide variety of fragments, each with unique effects, so you can mix and match to create your own playstyle. For example, tank fragments make your hero tougher and deal damage back to attackers. Marksmen who pick range-enhancing fragments can safely deal damage from afar. And that's just the start! Countless other powerful fragments and combinations are ready for you to try. As rounds progress, the Annihilation Tide starts shrinking across the map. Heroes outside the tide take sustained damage. Master this mechanic, and it can swing the battle in your favor. For instance, heroes with knockback or displacement abilities can push enemies into the tide. Surprise your opponents and watch them struggle against the sustained damage. The new 3 vs 3 mode, Chaos Clash, is coming soon. With a variety of chaos fragments, every match brings a fresh experience. The shrinking zone adds fast-paced, thrilling action, and new map buffs further empower heroes. Exciting, innovative, and powerful new strategies await. Are you ready to try them all?
Clouds, follow my flow. Let the shifting cloud witness our adventure.
Creators, streamers, and gamers. Listen. Do you wanna get famous?
Well, now's the chance. We are kickstarting our journey with MOA 5v5 community, connecting creators, brands, and tournaments like never before. If you love content, collabs, and gaming energy, TechDX is where you belong. Whether you create, sponsor, or host, TechDX is your bridge to visibility and growth. Tactical solutions by gamers for creators, built for impact. Let's grow together.
A brand new mode is coming to MLBB, Chaos Clash. Team up in trios, begin at level 3, and fight on a fresh map with no minions or turrets. During the preparation phase, grab chaos fragments to boost your power. As the match goes on, the Annihilation Tide emerges, pushing the action to the limit. Here's a closer look at how this new mode works. Chaos Clash is a multi-round 3 vs 3 mode. Wipe out the entire enemy team to win the round. Teams lose HP each time they are defeated. If a team's HP drops to 0, they're eliminated. Rounds continue until only one champion remains. When there's an odd number of teams, one team will sit out the round. After certain rounds, heroes automatically level up and earn gold. Use this time to buy equipment and boost your power. All full equipment except boots costs 2,000 gold. From round 11 onwards, teams earn bonus gold. Adapt your loadout and strategy to stay ahead. At the start of each round, you will receive random chaos fragments that boost your power. You can also refresh fragments to re-roll their effects, with 2 refreshes per round. The game offers a wide variety of fragments, each with unique effects, so you can mix and match to create your own playstyle. For example, tank fragments make your hero tougher and deal damage back to attackers. Marksmen who pick range-enhancing fragments can safely deal damage from afar. And that's just the start! Countless other powerful fragments and combinations are ready for you to try. As rounds progress, the Annihilation Tide starts shrinking across the map. Heroes outside the tide take sustained damage. Master this mechanic, and it can swing the battle in your favor. For instance, heroes with knockback or displacement abilities can push enemies into the tide. Surprise your opponents and watch them struggle against the sustained damage. The new 3 vs 3 mode, Chaos Clash, is coming soon. With a variety of chaos fragments, every match brings a fresh experience. The shrinking zone adds fast-paced, thrilling action, and new map buffs further empower heroes. Exciting, innovative, and powerful new strategies await. Are you ready to try them all?
Clouds, follow my flow. Let the shifting cloud witness our adventure.
Creators, streamers, and gamers. Listen. Do you wanna get famous?
Well, now's the chance. We are kickstarting our journey with MOA 5v5 community, connecting creators, brands, and tournaments like never before. If you love content, collabs, and gaming energy, TechDX is where you belong. Whether you create, sponsor, or host, TechDX is your bridge to visibility and growth. Tactical solutions by gamers for creators, built for impact. Let's grow together.
A brand new mode is coming to MLBB, Chaos Clash. Team up in trios, begin at level 3, and fight on a fresh map with no minions or turrets. During the preparation phase, grab Chaos Fragments to boost your power. As the match goes on, the Annihilation Tide emerges, pushing the action to the limit. Here's a closer look at how this new mode works. Chaos Clash is a multi-round 3 versus 3 mode. Wipe out the entire enemy team to win the round. Teams lose HP each time they are defeated. If a team's HP drops to 0, they're eliminated. Rounds continue until only one champion remains. When there's an odd number of teams, one team will sit out the round. After certain rounds, heroes automatically level up and earn gold. Use this time to buy equipment and boost your power. All full equipment except boots costs 2,000 gold. From round 11 onwards, teams earn bonus gold. Adapt your loadout and strategy to stay ahead. At the start of each round, you will receive random Chaos Fragments that boost your power. You can also refresh fragments to re-roll their effects, with 2 refreshes per round. The game offers a wide variety of fragments, each with unique effects, so you can mix and match to create your own playstyle. For example, tank fragments make your hero tougher and deal damage back to attackers. Marksmen who pick range-enhancing fragments can safely deal damage from afar. And that's just the start! Countless other powerful fragments and combinations are ready for you to try. As rounds progress, the Annihilation Tide starts shrinking across the map. Heroes outside the tide take sustained damage. Master this mechanic, and it can swing the battle in your favor. For instance, heroes with knockback or displacement abilities can push enemies into the tide. Surprise your opponents and watch them struggle against the sustained damage. The new 3 versus 3 mode, Chaos Clash, is coming soon. With a variety of Chaos Fragments, every match brings a fresh experience. The shrinking zone adds fast-paced, thrilling action, and new map buffs further empower heroes. Exciting, innovative, and powerful new strategies await. Are you ready to try them all?
Clouds, follow my flow. Let the shifting cloud witness our adventure.
Creators, streamers, and gamers. Listen. Do you wanna get famous?
Well, now's the chance. We are kickstarting our journey with MOA 5v5 community, connecting creators, brands, and tournaments like never before. If you love content, collabs, and gaming energy, TechTX is where you belong. whether you create, sponsor, or host. TechDX is your bridge to visibility and growth. Tactical solutions by gamers for creators, built for impact. Let's grow together.
A brand new mode is coming to MLBB, Chaos Clash. Team up in trios, begin at level 3, and fight on a fresh map with no minions or turrets. During the preparation phase, grab Chaos Fragments to boost your power. As the match goes on, the Annihilation Tide emerges, pushing the action to the limit. Here's a closer look at how this new mode works. Chaos Clash is a multi-round 3 versus 3 mode. Wipe out the entire enemy team to win the round. Teams lose HP each time they are defeated. If a team's HP drops to 0, they're eliminated. Rounds continue until only one champion remains. When there's an odd number of teams, one team will sit out the round. After certain rounds, heroes automatically level up and earn gold. Use this time to buy equipment and boost your power. All full equipment except boots costs 2,000 gold. From round 11 onwards, teams earn bonus gold. Adapt your loadout and strategy to stay ahead. At the start of each round, you will receive random Chaos Fragments that boost your power. You can also refresh fragments to re-roll their effects, with 2 refreshes per round. The game offers a wide variety of fragments, each with unique effects, so you can mix and match to create your own playstyle. For example, tank fragments make your hero tougher and deal damage back to attackers. Marksmen who pick range-enhancing fragments can safely deal damage from afar. And that's just the start! Countless other powerful fragments and combinations are ready for you to try. As rounds progress, the Annihilation Tide starts shrinking across the map. Heroes outside the tide take sustained damage. Master this mechanic, and it can swing the battle in your favor. For instance, heroes with knockback or displacement abilities can push enemies into the tide. Surprise your opponents and watch them struggle against the sustained damage. The new 3 versus 3 mode, Chaos Clash, is coming soon. With a variety of Chaos Fragments, every match brings a fresh experience. The shrinking zone adds fast-paced, thrilling action, and new map buffs further empower heroes. Exciting, innovative, and powerful new strategies await. Are you ready to try them all?
Clouds, follow my flow. Let the shifting cloud witness our adventure.
Creators, streamers, and gamers. Listen. Do you wanna get famous?
Well, now's the chance. We are kickstarting our journey with MOA 5v5 community, connecting creators, brands, and tournaments like never before. If you love content, collabs, and gaming energy, TechDX is where you belong. Whether you create, sponsor, or host, TechDX is your bridge to visibility and growth. Tactical solutions by gamers for creators, built for impact. Let's grow together.
A brand new mode is coming to MLBB, Chaos Clash. Team up in trios, begin at level 3, and fight on a fresh map with no minions or turrets. During the preparation phase, grab Chaos Fragments to boost your power. As the match goes on, the Annihilation Tide emerges, pushing the action to the limit. Here's a closer look at how this new mode works. Chaos Clash is a multi-round 3 versus 3 mode. Wipe out the entire enemy team to win the round. Teams lose HP each time they are defeated. If a team's HP drops to 0, they're eliminated. Rounds continue until only one champion remains. When there's an odd number of teams, one team will sit out the round. After certain rounds, heroes automatically level up and earn gold. Use this time to buy equipment and boost your power. All full equipment except boots costs 2,000 gold. From round 11 onwards, teams earn bonus gold. Adapt your loadout and strategy to stay ahead. At the start of each round, you will receive random Chaos Fragments that boost your power. You can also refresh fragments to re-roll their effects, with 2 refreshes per round. The game offers a wide variety of fragments, each with unique effects, so you can mix and match to create your own playstyle. For example, tank fragments make your hero tougher and deal damage back to attackers. Marksmen who pick range-enhancing fragments can safely deal damage from afar. And that's just the start! Countless other powerful fragments and combinations are ready for you to try. As rounds progress, the Annihilation Tide starts shrinking across the map. Heroes outside the tide take sustained damage. Master this mechanic, and it can swing the battle in your favor. For instance, heroes with knockback or displacement abilities can push enemies into the tide. Surprise your opponents and watch them struggle against the sustained damage. The new 3 versus 3 mode, Chaos Clash, is coming soon. With a variety of Chaos Fragments, every match brings a fresh experience. The shrinking zone adds fast-paced, thrilling action, and new map buffs further empower heroes. Exciting, innovative, and powerful new strategies await. Are you ready to try them all?
clouds. Follow my flow. Let the shifting cloud witness our adventure.
All right, and good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another round of some amazing games. And this is the Winter Showdown by SG Esports, and this will be me, your caster Sarah, alongside the very talented and the very pretty Debbie. For tonight's games, the first game is going to be between Team Elusivity Esports versus Zohunt.
Yep, it's been so long that we have seen these two squads playing against each other, Sarah, and I'm very interested to see how they're gonna be coming out with the draft as of today. Because let's see, EVT, they are gonna be into the first pick, and Johan will be having that second pick right there. And of course, there's also one fact about Johan is that Mintley, their mid laner, he's the another version of Peekaboo. Yeah, that's a Kadita. He is gonna be bent away. That is gonna be bent away. So very understandable. It's gonna be a slightly a target bend. Wait, are we gonna go for 3 bends or? Oh wait, what? It's a 3 bend.
I think that maybe. Okay. So I think it's just a custom lobby for now, and I believe we'll have the lobby later on in the higher stages, like quarter onwards. So for today, we're gonna have a lot of meta options open.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that Zohan also missed one ban, so that's going to give away the Sora. Here, Zohan could definitely lock in onto the Valentina pretty easily into that EXP lane, also flex it towards the mid if need be. But they also have the Esmeralda, the Lapu, the Freya, the Grog, all those amazing heroes. Even the Yves, everything is currently open for them to lock in.
It's so much. Oh, never mind. It's gonna be a Chang'e. I think it's definitely gonna be a little bit of a troll coming through from the side of Johan. Come on, man! This is the first time I've been seeing them in a long while, and they're gonna be hitting us with this one. But it's okay because Julius, that's gonna be his main hero. That's gonna be looking out, like you mentioned. A lot of heroes gonna be opened up. But Korikyu, I think this Sora can definitely be a flex pick. He can go against the Freya also, because against the Freya you cannot really pick out the Claude anymore. That's a very, very highly unlikely pick. If you wanna go for the late games, it's okay. But since you're directly looking onto the far side, the lineups are looking very, very pretty already for the side of EVT here. So, Johan, they need a saving grace for the XP laner.
I do really hope that the Chang'e is a bit of an auto pick and they kind of go for an appeal in there, but if not, the Chang'e, it can work against the Forza if you can just spam the ultimate every now and then because of the enchanted talisman. But if not, then you would have to position really, really safe because there's a Lancelot going to be charging at you every single time you try to go ahead and clear your lane. Blade will also be locking in onto a X-Borg jungle against the Farsa and Lancelot. So that's going to be a bit of an unconventional choice, but the Claude ban is very good and justified. Maybe they go ahead for a Freya ban or a Harith ban up next, which could work out against the Freya.
Yeah, that is. I'm pretty unsure why Blade is actually on a fighter jungle when the Fanny was completely left open. And I don't see no wrong in picking out the Fanny very early on still, because that is kind of an assassin who usually want to, have a good early phases of the game so that the late game will be definitely onto the par. But here, the Hilda was completely open though, but I don't know if the Hilda can be good against this. Of course, against the Lancelot and the Farsa, you usually want to have a good time. So this is kind of forcing out the XP laner to have a very, very good set. Early game, Johan, they can play it very, very dirtily because, of course, they have a Chang'e, right? I don't know about a Chang'e. The first time I've seen a Chang'e in a tournament was onto the hands of Asuna. And that is the last also, and never been picked away. So Moonlay, I hope he have a very, very good reason for picking up the Chang'e right now. But Rudius though, Johet against a Hilda age-old combination.
Age-old indeed, and it definitely works out because he can just use up the ejector onto any of the tanky picks, whether it's the Freya or the Hilda or whatever is going to be the EXP lane for the side of Zohan, and the Varsa would be able to burst them down immediately. The Tammuz onto the gold lane is also a very valid pick against the Freya because it has an equal amount of sustain and can go and jump in onto the back line, and it won't let you flicker out. And the Chang'e is playing on a Purify, so that's kind of a very win-win situation for the Tammuz right here. CC onto the EXP, it works out, but you're gonna lack a
Wow.
lot of front line. So Zohan here has a good draft, but then again, it's a bit 50-50 on towards the sustain, while EBT is definitely winning in terms of sustain and setup because of the Sora, but we'll have to see how it comes down to the execution.
I think it's kind of I don't know, man. I don't like the draft coming out from Johan, but then again, they can pull this off into the early stages of the game because they have a presence of the Xbox and the Hilda altogether, and the late game can be dependent onto the Chang'e as well. But like you already mentioned, this Chang'e will be forced to go onto the Purify, so he's gonna be a definite food for Julius here onto the Lancelot because that is a very very immobile mid that we are talking about. A little bit of tankiness that we will be seeing, but here let's see how the game will be provincing because EVT, they have a very, very good draft, and it's gonna be Sora into the XP lane rather than the gold.
Exactly. So that's a bit of a very, what do I say? It's a 50-50 matchup, honestly. The Sora can dodge the Yo-Yo Blitz every single time she tries to cast it by just walking out of the range, but Dusty Mizu can also force Corey to just force back himself into the turret like he is trying to do now. But then again, EXP laners being EXP laners, they don't really want to play safe.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the junglers, Lancelot is going for the triangular clear, which we call to go ahead and clear the small camp before you move in towards the opposite buff. So that's a smart move considering the fact that Blade will be rotating towards the gold and Julius will have a little bit more EXP from the mid minions as we can see here.
Yeah, I think the clearance is much more better for the Farsa and the Johan altogether because they do have a lot of ways to have a good clearance into the mid side. That also gives them a lot of leeway to try to secure onto the Lethal Wanderer as well. So that means that they're going to be a little bit ahead into the XP side too. You know, I've always haven't been a fan of Blade on a bit of a utility hero because he's much more mobile and very, very sneaky onto those assassins. But top lane, wow!
But oh my god, Prime? He actually made it. Like, he got the kill, and he still has the purify, but he's got to run. Yeah, forces on the purify there. But Elo and Mintley will be coming in for the backup. But yeah, that's just going to be a safe clear coming in from the Forza.
Yeah, that is a good early win coming through from the gold lane side here for Prime. I mean, the Freya is actually so good onto this 1v1 situation. You don't really want to go against it in those before the level 4, especially when you are onto the Stammers as well. But now I think they're going to be starting for the turtle though. Oh, Blade? What?
Definitely looking able to engage, but Corey will be the one getting picked off first in, and Illu will be securing a double on Julius as well. But of course, the Feather Airstrike is going to fight mentally onto the backside. Dusty Mizu gets ejected under the turret, but it is Illu securing that triple for the side of Zohan. A very good early lead, which Zohan can utilize and capitalize on.
Yeah, that was definitely on point there coming through from Elo. I think he's definitely going to be one with the damage here into the early stages of the games. We were talking about that too. But the perfect for the airstrike coming through from Senju was able to create a little bit of a compensation. But Turtle already taken away by Johan. So this also means that they're going to be a little bit ahead onto the gold here. But look at that damage though.
Yep, both the roamers dealing their fair share of damage, but Julius will be the one securing a kill onto Illu right away. An overextension from him onto that Hilda, because despite being inside the bushes, you are a Hilda after all, and you need to back off when a Farsa's Feather Airstrike keeps hitting you. Crisis though will be forcing in the vengeance, and Prime backs off at the prime moment when Shenzu was there for the rotation.
That was amazingly well read coming through from the side of the goal laner for Johan there. But I think there might be an engage though.
Yep, definitely seeing one on the feather airstrike again will find Mentally, but the lasting insanity is going to find the kill onto Shenzu, and Blade will be caught out because of the tide surge coming in from Corey right there, and he will be able to find the kill again. So that's a 1-4-2 trade in advantage of EBT right there.
Yeah, everywhere it has been advantages for the team fight. It's EBT and to the bottom lane again to Julius. Able to get a solo kill against Dusty Mizo, which means that he will be a little bit late onto the farm as well. A lot of deny onto the minions too. You don't want to be dead into a CC because you kind of need all the items so that you'll be able to drone away the people too. But look at that, a Zector.
Again, they're going in for those kind of brawls every now and then. Corey trying to look for the engage, gets the flicker in, will find Blade who has no shield onto him, as well as Mintley will get taken down. But meanwhile, Prime is forcing away Shenzu and Rudius back into the turrets, misses the ejector right there. But Tamus is still sustaining it all as CC tries to find something, but they will have to return empty-handed.
Oh, that's definitely an empty-handed fight. We have thought that Johan could have had a good lead because of the early stages and the skirmishes that have been happening for the advantage. But then again, a good turnabout coming through from the side of EVT. Now the turtle is going to be contested by both of the teams here. Yet again, Blade level 7, Julius already 8.
And Rudius getting chunked down a little bit too low for his comfort, has to run away while Julius is going to get caught, gets taken down by Dusty Mizo while Prime will be forcing Corey right under that turret, and the surge was not casted just on time and he gets taken down as Zohan try to find their lead back up for themselves. And despite having a Chang'e on that Purify, they are controlling the map quite a bit. Don't you think so?
Yeah, you know, without a crowd control, mates, it's kind of really hard to have a pressure onto the map. But they are playing so well because of the clears that they have right now. But Rudius?
Definitely looking for an engage there, but he will be able to find Illu, so that's a 1 kill advantage. Mid lane though, they are unaware of Crisis being there, and Mintley will be the target. Of course, Crisis marks it down, and that's going to be a very easy, sneaky kill coming in from the gold laner of EVT.
Oh man, okay, for the airstrike as well, just for safety, but that is gonna be again another one for the side of elusivity, because I feel like Mintley could have just cancelled out onto the ultimate there, because you know he was just killing himself with the vengeance that was available for the side of Crisis too. But hey, nevertheless, it's still gonna be a 50-50 situation right now because they are not losing out onto the mid lane here, and one of the most important turrets they're still standing. Two turrets gone for both of the sides, so they can definitely play around this equality that they have, because even though every death has been taken away by elusivity,
That's exactly what. But you know what? Team Zohan here, they still have a lot to do because right now Elusivity, they are leading by around 2.3k gold, which is a very good advantage to maintain. Another turtle fight has begun, the third turtle of the game. It is going to define a lot of things. Whoever gets this one, it will have a major advantage at the next Lord. Surge misses out and really just targeting down Blade there, uses the lasting enchantment, but Julius will find the retribution. There comes the stuns every now and then. Prime will get bursted down from the damage of the Forza and the Lancelot, and now they're gonna be moving down the mid lane. Julius definitely zoning away mentally this time. No more lane clears will come in along with that ultimate, and Illu will be the one dodging that Taunt Rose, but he needs to make sure that his mage doesn't die if they really want to win. But Mintley here getting knocked down by the Lancelot, and wow, that is some amazing punches coming in by them.
That was amazingly well done. This is what we were talking about, but there might be a re-engagement coming through onto the backside. Julius will be taken down by Dusty Mizo. Rudy is still onto the run. The 4 members trying to chase him down, but I don't think they'll be able to find anything. But that is the only compensation. A good kill onto Julius, but then again, they lost out every lane possible. So the jungle is definitely going to be open, and they have to try really, really hard to try to keep their jungle to have that farm as well. and that is gonna be making it a little bit hard because now they don't really have that good crowd control necessary to try to stop Julius as well. And there's also a fact that Minley is on the Purify, which means that he's gonna be always a target for the side of the Lancelot. But Prime though, he's able to walk away.
That's what I mean. It's a Freya after all, and you can just dash out every single time, but that's limited to I think 3 dashes because you use up
Yeah.
2 points from your passive. So he's got to be careful about maintaining those, and he has been doing a fantastic job of doing that. However, right now Zohan really needs to find a way to protect that Chang'e if they want to win this one out because he is going to be the main damage dealer in the late game, and there comes another rejector, and Prime will be using up the Purify and escaping while the feathered airstrike will be used to keep them out of the area. And now the Lord control is back into the hands of Elusivity.
Yeah, Elusivity has been just so successful in trying to chase away any possibility of them having a good lead. And then there's also one nuisance coming through from the bottom lane too. Crisis until the Sun was able to push out the lane as well. So that is a lot of advantage. Hey, 1v1?
Very close indeed, but the vengeance was enough to protect Ryze. Now they're fighting under the turret, while here Corey will be taking down Illu, but Rudius is also getting targeted down because the War Axe damage is quite a lot for him to handle as he gets taken down. But onto the backside, Corey will be able to find 2, and Julius is definitely marking down that Firaga armor is looking to take down Blade. Will successful. That's the advantage of having a Lancelot. You can go in for as many re-engages as you want. And now Dusty Mizo, unaware of the danger lurking in the bushes, will get taken down. So that's going to be a very free and easy Lord for the side of Elusivity.
And there's also a fact that Elusivity can just wait out. They don't even have to rush for the Lord anymore because they have the total advantage into the damage as well as the zone potential, because there's no way that Johan will be able to break through these walls they have already created, because there's no immobile hero here. Even though the first eye is gonna be the most targeted one, he can fly away. Senju have the wings by wings as well as the flicker that can save him, but look at that Ejector.
Yep, they're going in for an engage again. Crisis being the one to chunk every single ounce of damage for himself. Mentally tries to dodge it, but will not be able to take the blast from the feathered airstrike. And here, Genzo using up the wings by wings at the very right moment to run away from Prime's Freya right there. But Prime, he realizes the positioning again, tries to catch up, but the Farsa is just fast enough to run away once more. The Lord marching down in favor of EVT down bot lane, but here Zohan, they do not have 2 of their members, and I feel that the Chang'e should just have gone for a flicker and this game would have been 5 times easier than it is now.
Yeah, he should be alive. He should have been alive for a longer time and be there to clear out every minion possible. And now they do have a good early... Oh wait, never mind. Julius?
Definitely
what?
For something, but I think that's a little bit over ambitious of him there. But he is going to fall though, and that's going to hinder AVT from actually finding that inhibitor which they otherwise could have taken down with the next upcoming wave. Corey definitely looking for the surge, will get it onto 2 this time, but he's also taking quite a lot of turret damage and needs to run. But Dusty trying to get the chase in. A Blade doesn't have the Viraga armor this time around, will have to back up, but Prime tries to look for an engage. He looks to figure it out of that situation, while Shenzu uses the wings by wings once again as Blade gets stunned. Uses the Purify, tries to get the dashes in. He's trying to mark down the Parsa, and this time around he finally finds it, but onto the backside, Dusty Mizo will find the double onto Corey as well as Crisis. So the CC with the War Axe and the Hunter Strike is finally back online.
Yeah, this is something that Elusivity don't usually do. But hey, that was a big blunder, and now Zohan will be highly capitalizing onto that though. Julius, oh yeah, he got to be careful, man. You cannot really fall down there again because that was a big blunder already committed. Just Dusty though. Hey.
Yep, definitely very ambitious right there. But Zohan, if they can actually come back from this, they still have a 3-4 deficit, but one or two more kills or team fight wins should be enough to equalize that, and they will even get a bit of that map control back for themselves. Corey definitely trying to burst down the Faraga armor every chance he gets, so that's a very good decision coming in from him, because no Faraga armor, no threat from the Expo, obviously.
Yeah, and there's also the factor where Blade is so low onto the goal, which means that he's not gonna be as tanky as he wants himself to be onto the Xbox here. So whatever engages that elusivity wants to try to throw on his face. Wait, Julius? Wait, what?
Exactly so.
Wow.
Wow, man. That guy, we have been praising him ever since the Mythic Showdown, and he just doesn't
Mm-hmm.
stop. And Lancelot is just a valid jungle for like 3 seasons
Yeah.
now, literally. So that's a very good thing. But Dusty Mizo, he's gonna find the kill. You praise one person, and another one comes right back into the scene. So
Yep.
Crisis here, definitely trying to burst people down. So we'll have to see if he can do it. He is. It's working though, but we'll have to see if he can sustain it out.
What?
He's doing it though. Wow, he's actually sustaining the damage coming in from 3 people.
He gave out more damage than what he took. He's just unpenetrable at this point, and I think it's gonna be necessary for Ezektor.
Oh no, Blade.
Oh,
Oh no. Blunder,
I don't know, man.
blunder indeed. But Curtain Call, it's not dealing as much damage as you would want it to. But Corey, though, has to flicker out of the situation. Feathered Airstrike just zone Freya away. But now, Team Zohan once again on the back foot because the Lord is up and they do not have their jungler.
It's definitely not the best to have all the fights here at this point for Johan. They can play for the late game actually, because they do have the ways to try to clear out the minions and stay into the game as much as possible. But Dusty though is Ejector.
Definitely looking for the engage here, and Dusty Mizo will be taken on very low. The Vengeance dealing quite some amount of damage, but it's also helping him sustain. But Illu, meanwhile, in the middle of 3, right at the Lord Pit, steals it away from a Retribution dealer while dying, sacrificing himself for his team. Prime has to purify himself out, but Dusty Mizo is going to be taken on very low here. Ejector comes in, gets thrown in the middle of 4. Lasting Insanity should be enough to burst down the immortality of Rudius, but he now has to back off because there it is. There is the Lancelot who has been making the newspapers every now and then. But Prime trying to look for the engage. There's Freya's Valkyrie form coming in with a Feathered Airstrike damage. A little bit too much for them to handle. But the Chang'e with the basic attacks now at max level is hurting more than you can take it, and Shenzhou will fall. But the damage coming in because of the Wishing Lantern, that's the key to winning against tanky comps with Chang'e, and I think that's working out now.
It's finally showing something here, but Ejector on Blade again. I think he's definitely gonna be okay, but the lore is still out there. Look at that.
Definitely, they are going in for something a little bit more. Crisis tries to get the engage in, but he's gonna get bursted down by the Freya almost instantly. Blade will lose his immortality, but it should be enough to keep him alive because the minion waves are going to be charging in the top lane as well as mid very soon. Dusty Mizo zoning them away this time, can sustain quite a lot now thanks to the Athena shield as well as the brute force. But Rudius, he is the one in danger right now because he is too far away from his team, but will safely back off for now.
It's kind of questionable why the Chang'e is dealing this insane amount of damage, but it's dependent on the maximum XP that you have, and he's been able to burst down Rudius as well as Corey. What might I say? So this is gonna be a perfect opportunity for the side of Julius to try to focus onto the Chang'e yet again, because Minley has become a problem for the team fights too. And Prime already unstoppable. He's onto the Freya, and he has been silently killing everyone at that point of a time. And I think this should be a main focus because they have been focusing too much on Blade, but right now mid lane though, Dusty able to walk away. But what was that damage coming through from Julius onto a Lancelot? So much of a damage that he's doing.
That's why, like, he goes in for the brute force and the Queen's Wings and still manages to deal that much damage. It's kind of commendable onto him because his punctures are also very on point. He knows when to go in and when to come out. So that's a very good micro coming in from his side onto that hero, but we'll have to see
Mhm.
if they can still maintain their lead because it's down to only 1k now. They are holding on to it despite losing their lives quite a few times, but the problem is that now that it's late game, the Freya can technically just two basic attack kill Shenzhou if she catches them.
Yeah.
And the Chang'e is already melting people down. But they are targeting down Illu. That's a lot of stunts for him to take.
What?
Flickers out though, but Dusty Mizo is definitely trying to sustain everything coming in from Crisis. But now
Whoa.
he's gonna be taking in quite a lot of damage. Uses up the Vengeance as well. That's going to be one resource wasted. But Blade, too much of an engage right before the Lord will lose his Firaga armor, which means there's a green signal for Julius to try and mark it down. There's the retribution as well, but Prime tried to go in for the engage onto Shenzhou, but there we go. The Surge Ultimate coming in from Corey will be enough to stop them in their tracks, but Shenzhou is going to find Blade into the back line, and now Ilu trying to mark down Shenzhou while Dusty Mizo and Prime are targeting down Julius as well as taking down Corey. So it's going to be a very, very, very scattered fight in 2 and 3 lanes at once, which is not something you get to see in anywhere except India. And so that's exactly what is happening right now.
A battle of isolation and a survivability too, and I think it is definitely won away by Johan because you know what, they still have their signature style, you know, try to play with as chaotic as possible, not never let the opponent predict what you're going to be doing. So they have been fighting and fighting and fighting, and talking about fight, the Rudius, I think he might be caught here.
Definitely caught a bit, but the amount of damage coming in from Chang'e though, and even Prime sustained just because of that Warx, but now he's getting tongued down. He doesn't have it. Oh my god, he manages to dash out, but Dusty Mizo needs to be safe, but Illu will be the one securing the double.
No.
That's 3 down. No jungler from the side of EVT, so it should be a fairly easy Lord for the side of Zohan.
I don't know what we can say about this game anymore because it's just all fight again.
Again and again and again. That's all they do. They keep fighting. But this time around, Zohan is the one with the Lord advantage, and with the amount of dive potential they have, and the Chang'e burst, which is going to come in now that he is on the full build with the Holy Crystal and everything, it is going to hurt a lot. And can elusivity defend this is the question, because Prime can just mark down the base every single time, and that's exactly what they're doing. They aren't gonna stop. Nobody's there to stop the Chang'e. That's going to be a very easy push without even the Lord spawning into the map. That's exactly what happens when you underestimate a mage like Chang'e.
Oh man, I did. I underestimated the mage, of course, but hey, I'm sorry for that too. But that was an amazing play coming through from the side of Johan. Not much to try to break down because everything was pure heaven fight, and I think it's so brawly that elusivity wasn't eventually ready for that much of a team fight because they are so dependent on their ultimates. Of course, Senju was always available on time to try to drop down those artilleries, but then when it's done, he's gonna have to wait half a minute to try to join the team fight backs. But at that point of the time, I think Midley already have like 10 seconds cooldown onto the Chang'e because he was also spamming the ultimate so and so, and that also kind of created a lot of opening for them. And the damage that he already output, it was so good for their side. Elusivity, they cannot really pinpoint if they want to go into those all-in team fights or leave it at that, because it's always for Johan, they're always re-engaging. They're going in, they look like they will back away, but then they will come back again. The isolations were on point. And even though Elusivity was able to win out onto the early stages, the clearance coming through from the side of Johan was too good to even imagine. And look at that, we have our MVP too, Prime. One deaths only onto the Freya.
Exactly so. So I think that Freya is kind of a win condition that we can see now, because we kind of are used to seeing the classic picks, the carry, the Claude, the Granger onto that gold lane. We have been seeing that, but now this new meta coming in from the international stage and now to the Indian stage here, and I think it's a huge change in the meta, which I think EVT got affected by it because they're still using Tamus up in the goal lane, which
Mm-hmm.
was a fair
Yeah,
choice. With the DHS
yeah,
and everything against the Freya, it's a fair choice. But then the amount of range that the Freya gets in that ultimate, I think that's
yeah.
what changes things a lot.
And I feel like he was also kind of forced to build up the Malefic gun as well, the Malefic roar, so that he'll be able to go for the penetration. But I don't think that's completely necessary for Ethamus. You might go for a little bit of a defense item and then try to sustain a lot with the countenance too and stay into the team fight longer, because whatever they do, Johan, they always re-engage, and it felt like until the later part of the game, EVT were kind of forced to always go in for the fights, and they don't want to take prolonged team fights with this kind of composition that they have right now. Meanwhile, for Johan, they don't really care. They just want to fight. They just want to fight, and they always have their resources available because of the amount of cooldowns that they had onto each of the heroes that has been brought onto here by them. But you know what, Sarah? One thing's for sure, I don't want to see Blade on a utility again.
Yeah, I
Fighter.
agree with your statement. Yep, I definitely agree with that because that guy is so good onto the Fanny, the Hayabusa, the Lancelot, all of those things. But somehow, this
Mhm.
time, this game around, I don't know why, maybe he was forced onto the export just to probably counter out the Sora or the Tamus or whatever jungle, like tank pick that was
Mm,
going to be coming in.
definitely. Game number 3, should it be? Yeah, the last game will be the decider of whether you're gonna be seeing a Freya ban. I'm pretty sure the Freya should be banned away. And I think AVT can try to contest out this Freya too. I'm sure they did not expect Prime to play the fighter into the gold lane here because it's Prime, right? He is always like commonly known for those marksmen that he usually play into the goal lane side, like the Harriets, the Granger, the Moscows, the Claude, of course. But yeah, with the change up into the metas, you might wanna adjust to that also. And I think, like you already said, the Crisis is also good onto the fighters, man. But the Tamus, I don't really think it worked here. So cheese picks as the win condition for 2.
Yep. And then with that, I think we will be moving in towards a break because it's a 1-1 right now. LGBT had 1 point because Zohan was late, but now Zohan came back and secured the tiebreaker from themselves. So we'll be right back after the short break.
Clouds, follow my flow. Let the shifting cloud witness our adventure.
Creators, streamers, and gamers. Listen. Do you wanna get famous?
Well, now's the chance. We are kickstarting our journey with MOA 5v5 community, connecting creators, brands, and tournaments like never before. If you love content, collabs, and gaming energy, TechDX is where you belong. Whether you create, sponsor, or host, TechDX is your bridge to visibility and growth. TechDX
Among the planes exists the equilibrium, which I was made for.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be game number 2. Despite the score being a 1-1, this is a tiebreaker between Zohunt and Elusivity. Team Zohunt, they were late, and 1 point was given to the side of Elusivity based on the rules. But now we will be having Zohan doing that comeback, the sort of a reverse sweep you do when you're really mad about giving away 1 point because of another dire situation. But this time around, I think Zohan, they are back into the game with a very strong non-Chang'e pick kind of draft, despite the Chang'e being the win condition sort of in the previous game. But it's fine. They ban out the Yi, they ban out the Sora, and EVT here are still deciding onto what their first. Oh no! Look at that! It's EVT
Wow.
missing the first ban this time.
Okay, the red side is kind of yeah a cursed here, but you know what? A very solid ban onto the Hilda, right? And I feel like for EVT they could have banned away the Freya, but now the Freya is completely left open for them. If Crisis is able to play the Freya, he can really deny onto that because Prime was so amazing onto the Freya into the game number 1 that we have witnessed so far. But Sora ban is definitely very good call coming through from the side of Johan. Wow, you ran us very early on. Okay, so what is gonna be good here? Kimi? Kimi?
Kimi?
Eh?
Oh, I mean
Okay.
Shenzu's Kimi. Okay, Shenzu's Kimi.
Okay.
It's a
Valid,
fair
valid.
decision. But look at Blade though, immediately locking on the Leo mod this time. Very meta, very inspired by M7 this time around. But the Kimi pick, I am a bit skeptical, exactly like you, and giving away
Oh,
the Freya again. So that's
okay.
like you have a Leo mod, you have a Freya, all given away. As well as the Jushin, that's a very strong lineup for the side of Zohan already. But Crisis will be locking in on the pure marksman this time. The carry definitely gonna work out for him right there. But we'll have to see how Team Zohan makes it work against that carry. They really need to target it down towards the late game.
I'm kind of worried though. The carry without the range is definitely going to be a mid well served there for the side of Johan if they are able to pick it well. But oh wait, what? They still ban away the Kadita when they already sold Jushin. Ah man, I think that this is definitely going to be a game where all of the big picks, the hot picks from the M7 will be available, right? Okay. So for EVT, oh wait, Johan, what could they ban here? Jungle? Do they want to ban the Lancelot or no? Fredrin instead. Does Julius play Fredrin?
He does. I mean, yeah, in this draft, honestly, the Fredrin is the better choice. With the Uranus and the Fredrin to front line, the
Yeah.
Kimi and the carry to hit from the back line. So, yeah, that works out for them right there.
Wow, Guinevere though, this is such a good pick. I mean, it was so this lineup looks like a little bit for yeah, they are definitely going to be playing for the marksmen that they have right now. So Dusty, Mizo, and Ilu, they are going to have to pick out the heroes that they want right now. There's no flex whatsoever coming through from the side. For both of these teams, yeah, they are not flexing. They're just picking out the heroes that they are really comfortable on. Whoa. There is going to be a Lolita and an Esmeralda coming through. Lolita against this comp, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Ilu, he's just oh man, he just want to counter out the Kimi and the query altogether. The seal is definitely going to be very important.
I mean, it works out against the Kimi and the carry if he can use the shield at the right time. But with the amount of knock-ups into the hand of EBT, the Guinevere, the Grok, I think it's going to be a little difficult for Illu there to keep that shield on for more than a second. And I think the Kimi and the carrier heroes, which have a continuous DPS and 1 second of shield, isn't really going to be that effective.
And there's also one fact that I've never seen Ilu on the Lolita, even in a normal rank game also. So I don't know why he's coming out with this pick on a crucial match like this. Maybe, just maybe, because the Chang'e work, they were like, yeah, another cheese pick is what it takes for us to have a second game also. But you know what, Sarah? They have a solid lineup coming through from the XP lane as well as the gold lane, so they might eventually try to find a good opening here. But then again, yeah, it's all about the team game that we have. This is a 5v5 after all.
Yep, 5v5 indeed, and both the junglers will be starting off with their blues this time around. And again, Leomord will be going in for the small camp before moving towards the other side of the jungle. And mid control, honestly, it should be in the hands of Jushin and the Lolita, but then again, the amount of poke that comes in from a Grok and Kimi is also something very commendable. Yep, that's the engage we were talking about early game. Already a high amount of poke coming in from the side of EET just because of the Grenadier and Kimi, and the knockups as well from the Grok. Yep, Chase is gonna be coming in as well, but the teams are playing it safe though. Oh no, but Corey though, he's in a bit of a danger here. Will he get taken down is the question. He doesn't. Oh, flicker out. Smart flicker, I'll say, because otherwise, if that first kill did hit him, he was sure as dead.
Yeah, that was amazingly well read. There, he was able to flicker away with a 2v1 situation. Of course, they're gonna be losing out to the Lethal Wanderer here too. But hey, wait, Prime, he might have overstayed his welcome just a little bit, but hey, it's okay. This is a Freya after all. He's able to walk away without getting killed by whoever it is there. He's able to give out a little bit of a vision, so they might eventually be able to create a lot of opening for the jungler.
That's what they need to find the space for them to go in for the engage. But no, here Lolita will be the one having to flicker out. But oh no, Julius will get taken out immediately as Barbiel and Leomord come in for the engage. And even Jushin doing an amazing job of interrupting the side of Team VT every single time they try to lock in their skills onto a particular person. But here Corey will be the one zoning away Blade from that turtle. But smart shield dodging that immobilize, but it isn't going to be of any use because he gets taken down anyway. And now the flicker will be evaded away of Shenzhou, but Jushin has used up her ultimate, which means that she won't have any kind of dashes available except for the Purify. Guinevere tries to come in for an engage, and again the Leomord will be using up that ultimate, that short cooldown. It's just something so annoying, and you really cannot stop that hero once he uses up the ultimate.
Yeah, this is why he's got that hybrid defense also when he's in the Phantom Steed too. Hey, jump!
Definitely. And the tech charge comes in as well, along with the Violet Requiem locking down Mintley, who has to use up the Purify. But the Nuomamon Blast is going to find 3, and this time Shenzhen is the one without any dashes, and Mintley is going to find a double early on in the game, and if he makes it the Sky Piercer now, it's going to be very beneficial for him. Corey definitely trying to just go back to his lane and clear his minions out, but the amount of invades that are coming in from the side of Zohunt is actually pretty commendable, despite them having a Lolita who did lose out a bit in the early game.
I think this is why the engage have been so good for the side of Johan all the time, because they have a shorter cooldown to their ultimates as well, and they do have a lot of control to the mid lane side. Even though there is a Lolita, they have a Jushin to make out with. And even though Zulus was able to get a good jump onto the perfect member here, again, he is getting cancelled out time and time again. You know, there's also one factor about the Guinevere is that you kind of need a little bit of items so that you'll be able to have that sustain, but Phantom Steed...
Only gonna be using up the ultimate there, but the Violet Requiem comes in on point.
Wow.
But Mintley, with the interrupt that he gets from those snow cuts, will be there to defend his teammate and also find a kill onto Julius right away. So that's one good exchange coming in for them. But we'll have to see what team the one can really do to hold on to this, because if they let Crisis farm up even just a bit, it's not going to look good. But the damage is already there though. Crisis is definitely hurting, but so is Prime, because Rudius, he just got melted out of nowhere.
I think it's definitely gonna have something to do with the seal that the Lolita gave Ilu, who was able to give away what's the amount of hits that Kaisis was doing, and on to Rudius too. So they have to be a little bit careful on where the seal cooldown is gonna be. The turtle is gonna be up here right now. There might be any gates. Look at that.
They are looking for something. They're trying to find Prime actually, but he's just gonna walk through the turret. I mean, he doesn't really care. He's a Freya. He can just dash out. But now they're trying to mark down Blade, and he's gonna get the
Whoa.
Violet Requiem in. But he actually, what in the world? He manages to survive all of that and get a double, doing everything he could.
Oh
The
my
War
God.
Axe, the passive from the Fighter Emblem, and then the killing spree all together. It just helped him survive so well. I think this is why Leomord was the most picked jungler back in M7 as well, Debbie.
Yeah, that is also why he was able to survive the hybrid defense coming through, and Prime able to get a kill onto Crisis as well. Definitely well done coming through from Johan yet again. I think, you know what, EVT should know by now that you never want to go for a chaotic engage against Johan, because that's where they shine. Top lane though, Senju flickering away.
He is gonna have to walk away because his flicker is really gone, and the Violet Requiem really doesn't hit anyone there. And then
What?
I'm gonna come in right on time. Grok as well,
Hello?
and Neomon blast onto the backside. Wow, that's going to be a triple kill for Mintley. I think he already has the Sky Pierce. That's just going to keep adding to his stacks. And if not, that man is on 7 kills without a Sky Pierce, right? I think that's a big inspiration after that specific engage pick in the first game. And that engage on
Wow.
the backside. Crisis, he didn't stand even a second of chance in there.
There's always a win coming through from the side of Johan with the cheese picks that they have right now. Tech charge on Blade.
And they get the new move non-blast again, but who is going to burst Blade
Okay.
down? Julius will only have to be satisfied with the kill onto Mintley, but that's everything. That's all they find from that fight while losing to themselves.
Oh man, everything that they did has been in favor for the side of Johan again and again, because they're so tanky with a lot of damage on point too. The Freya and the Esmeralda together, they will be able to solo kill a Grok as well. This is why this meta is kind of very disgusting, man. You are able to get out a lot of damage, but you will be able to give the equal amount of damage too, and they have those two kind of heroes that they will be able to target onto there as well. But Corey right now trying to get a little bit of a vision onto Prime as well, because at this point of the time, the turtle can be completely ignored, but they can still take. But Phantom Steed, though,
They are looking for something, but he's just gonna use up the Phantom Seed just to clear that turtle out faster. I think he didn't even really need to do that with the amount of farm
Yeah.
that they have right now, because it's 7,000 gold leading to their favor. And even if the carry farms up now, the amount of burst damage that is going to come from the Freya and the Leomore jumping in on him, I don't really think he's gonna stand a chance, you know.
yeah. That's why it's kind of important that they know that they are so behind onto the goal as well, and they don't have the damages. Even though we are pretty sure that Rudius might be able to get a good tech charge onto the possible member, I don't think they have a good damage follow-up that they can utilize on. So yeah, EVT, they don't need to go for the fights, man. They can farm up, go for the later part of the game, because they have Crisis onto the carry as well as Senju onto the Kimi too. But look at that.
They are looking for something more again, because Shenzo will be finding
Wow.
Mintley into that fight. So that's one damage dealer out, and the jump gets connected onto the Esmeralda this time around. But the damage from Blade will force Shenzo to flicker out and will lead Julius to lose his life in the process. So that's a 1-for-1. Good trade this time around, but Prime is gonna find a kill. But that's an amazing tech charge coming in by Rudius with the flicker and everything getting used up. But can they really convert? That is the question, because now the carry is coming online, but it's still going to take them some time to deal the proper amount of damage.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about. The Lord will be taken care of because they have 2 marksmen actually. So this can be a start of a time for EVT to try to have a good re-engage. Wait, what?
amazing engages coming in once more. The Norman Blast actually managed to hit 4, while Blade found 1 kill. Prime tried to go in with the ultimate and Valkyrie form, dealing quite an amount of damage. Takes down Rudius immediately and is going to heal up perfectly well from the minions from 1 HP to full. Just a matter of seconds. That's just how good the War Axe is onto that hero. And now Esmeralda with the falling star moon right into the back line, still sustaining everything. Corey will be able to take him down, but the base gets marked down by Leomord and Freya, and they will be able to take the victory with the reverse sweep, all in their favor.
Man, Johan, typical on the cheese picks that they have onto their kid, able to win out in a 2v1 situation. 2-1 score. Definitely a job well done coming through for the picks as well. This is why you cannot really predict out the kind of draft that this team can always bring away. They always go for those kind of different picks and then have and find ways to win out onto the game as well. And as chaotic as it sounds, they love the chaos that they are playing against. They love to go for engage over and over again. They don't want to play very slow. They want to play fast. And they pick out the heroes that's kind of, there's always going to be a fight. One engages and they are backing off, and then they re-engage with another hero of their favor too. And I don't think EVT had that capacity to try and go into those fights again and again, because they are so dependent on what kind of resources that they have. And at this point of the time, they are also so behind onto the goal. They don't have damages. Even Senzu, only 1 item without counting the Sky Piercer, and no Trinity for Crisis. He's always getting taken down. So EVT, I think it's just pure gold, lack in gold that they were struggling with.
That's what. It's just unfortunate that the draft was really well planned on the side of EVT, but they just couldn't execute it. The synergy, it wasn't there exactly how they would have wanted it. Like the Sky Piercer in a losing game, that also with 1 kill, I do not think is worth it. And I think that's where they went kind of wrong. And even Corey prioritizing the Dominance Eyes against all those heroes, the Chestus may have been better as the first item, or maybe just the Oracle before everything, because Rudius was building up the dominance anyway. And I think those little micros here and there, and then that early advantage just because of the Jushin and Leomord just jumping in on you, and then those constant knockups, and I think it changes a lot for the side of Team Zohan, and I think they got the victory. And with that, this is going to be game number 1 for the night right now, and we'll be back soon after a short break with game number 2.
A brand new mode is coming to MLBB. Chaos Clash! Team up in trios, begin at level 3, and fight on a fresh map with no minions or turrets. During the preparation phase, grab Chaos Fragments to boost your power. As the match goes on, the Annihilation Tide emerges, pushing the action to the limit. Here's a closer look at how this new mode works. Chaos Clash is a multi-round 3 versus 3 mode. Wipe out the entire enemy team to win the round. Teams lose HP each time they are defeated. If a team's HP drops to 0, they're eliminated. Rounds continue until only 1 champion remains. When there's an odd number of teams, 1 team will sit out the round. After certain rounds, heroes automatically level up and earn gold. Use this time to buy equipment and boost your power. All full equipment except boots costs 2,000 gold. From round 11 onwards, teams earn bonus gold. Adapt your loadout and strategy to stay ahead. At the start of each round, you will receive random chaos fragments that boost your power. You can also refresh fragments to re-roll their effects, with 2 refreshes per round. The game offers a wide variety of fragments, each with unique effects, so you can mix and match to create your own playstyle. For example, tank fragments make your hero tougher and deal damage back to attackers. Marksmen who pick range-enhancing fragments can safely deal damage from afar. And that's just the start! Countless other powerful fragments and combinations are ready for you to try. As rounds progress, the Annihilation Tide starts shrinking across the map. Heroes outside the tide take sustained damage. Master this mechanic, and it can swing the battle in your favor. For instance, heroes with knockback or displacement abilities can push enemies into the tide. Surprise your opponents and watch them struggle against the sustained damage. The new 3 vs 3 mode, Chaos Clash, is coming soon. With a variety of chaos fragments, every match brings a fresh experience. The shrinking zone adds fast-paced, thrilling action, and new map buffs further empower heroes. Exciting, innovative, and powerful new strategies await. Are you ready to try them all?
Clouds, follow my flow. Let the shifting cloud witness our adventure.
Creators, streamers, and gamers. Listen. Do you wanna get famous?
Well, now's the chance. We are kickstarting our journey with MOA 5v5 community, connecting creators, brands, and tournaments like never before. If you love content, collabs, and gaming energy, TechDX is where you belong. Whether you create, sponsor, or host, TechDX is your bridge to visibility and growth. Tactical solutions by gamers for creators, built for impact. Let's grow together.
A brand new mode is coming to MLBB, Chaos Clash. Team up in trios, begin at level 3, and fight on a fresh map with no minions or turrets. During the preparation phase, grab chaos fragments to boost your power. As the match goes on, the Annihilation Tide emerges, pushing the action to the limit. Here's a closer look at how this new mode works. Chaos Clash is a multi-round 3 vs 3 mode. Wipe out the entire enemy team to win the round. Teams lose HP each time they are defeated. If a team's HP drops to 0, they're eliminated. Rounds continue until only one champion remains. When there's an odd number of teams, one team will sit out the round. After certain rounds, heroes automatically level up and earn gold. Use this time to buy equipment and boost your power. All full equipment except boots costs 2,000 gold. From round 11...
Butterfly is born by thy wish, guided by lantern's light.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to game number 2. We are here into the drafting phase, and once the layout is fixed up, as we can see now, we will be seeing two amazing teams go up against each other. One of them currently on the global leaderboard of squads this
Wow.
season, Karmis. So they will be showing us an amazing game. And right now we are into the drafting phase. We can see the Jushin and the Garot Kaja, two very standard mid lane bans, getting taken away by the blue side, while on the red side we will be seeing quite possibly the Sora and the Grok ban, possibly, or maybe the Freya ban or Leomord getting taken out. But no, instead it's going to be a Kalia. Okay.
I think the Kalia is actually a very valid ban when you are on the red side. But then again, like we already mentioned there, this is definitely going to be a free first pick for both of the sides here too, because of course they have a very, very vast hero that has been opened up in this current patch too. The first pick is usually, when the Grok is open, no one really forget the Grok to be picked away because of the way that he's been played. But oh wow, a very good prio onto the Leomord. I'm pretty sure they might be comfortable with that. But do you want to first pick out the Leomord? Because I think there might be a good counter picks coming through from the side of Kermis as well. Twinkies, I hope they know what they are doing because first pick coming through from the side of Kermis. What can they possibly want here?
It's a good question, honestly. They can lock in on the Fredrin. Oh, I mean, Fredrin this early is also a bit skeptical. Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
unconventional as well this early because you're leaving open the Eve, you're leaving open the carry, you're leaving open the Claude, and also the Guinevere who can just go in for a setup and you're gonna be marched down every single time. So that's what happens. But then again, the Lapu is a decent choice, but that leaves open the Esmeralda to be picked up against that specific laner. So currently a lot of counter options open. Carry the Claude, the Moskov, the Esme, but yeah, they're just going to lock in on the Hylos. Two horses,
Ah.
that's a very good combination. We've seen it in M7 quite a lot of times. So the two horses combo, it works out pretty well. And then there's Carrie who's going to be shredding you down, marching down that glorious pathway every single time it's cast out. So yeah, it works out for them there.
I think this is quite messy also, but oh wait, that's gonna be a winning gold lane that we have seen right now. The Granger against the carry, the Granger always got to win out into the level 4 as well. But then again, into the later part of the game where that's where the real power of the carry comes through here, so that can be a possible option too. But for this band coming through from the side of Kami, so Twinkies, they can actually ban away the rumors right now because the room hasn't been picked away. From the most parts that we have seen these two games so far, I think there hasn't been even a single flex of a hero. It was just Sora coming through from Corey, but I think they are so straight up with what kind of draft that they want. Hilda ban again, a very very good here. But for the side of Nintendo for Kermis here, they need a rumor, right? So what can be a possible rumor now that they've picked out the Farsa? Very good against the carry as well. So even another mates for the side of Twinkies here. What can be good against this Farsa though? Eve? What is
Yeah, the Yi works out, the Zacian works out in a lot of ways,
oh
but
wait
then
that
yeah, but against the Granger and Fredrin, I think Zacian might not work out that well. But what?
oh what? Must have been the windman because oh
Whoa.
wait, good call though, good call onto the Jigishan here. I think she'll be able to cancel out a lot of stuff here because of the true damage that she also have against the Fredrin. It's definitely up to the point here, but the main Sitar, there's not much of a dash coming through from the side of Karmi. So Twinkies, I hope they know what they're cooking because they do have a good frontliner with the Hylos, but the Hylos can be the secondary director of those team fights if you have a good XP lane, and the main Sitar is not the best XP lane to go against the Lapu Lapu. But the Badam picked away, that's a good card control coming through from the side for the roam here. So they might eventually try to utilize Undead. Ah man, three kind of late games coming through. So Twinkies, they got to be careful until the early stages of the game so they won't get picked off.
We'll have to see how that Mincetar works out. Honestly, they could go in for, like the Flicker and the King's Calling together, and it's gonna be bursting down the Fredrin, the Badang, the Lapu, everyone. He will go in for the Trinity. That's a given.
Yeah.
The Trinity, so there's two Trinity users against that kind of a tanky comp. The only thing they need to worry about is sustenance, and I think the Leomord and the Hylos will cover up a bit for that because they won't really let the Farsa target them down every single time. But everything aside, we are here into the land of Dawn. This is going to be game number 2 between two amazing teams, and one of them, like we mentioned, currently a global squad. And now they are here into the competitive scene as well. One of the underdog teams to be watched out for because their performance has been exceptional so far.
Yeah, this is why we were trying to watch how the draft is going to be looking like here again. At some point, of course, when you compare other Farsa together with any kind of Roma, the clearance is definitely going to be out there. But Jichen, I think the way that the clearance has been good for this hero into it's been tweaked a bit. But hey, wait, what damage?
Quite a lot of poke coming into the early phase. I think that's the power of third phase of Zacian's first skill. It just pushes you back, and then there's a lot of damage coming in already. So you're forced to recall and use up your skill. Oh no! What?
Oh, what? Okay.
What in the world? Yep, that's the same reaction we're all having right now because the Minsatar are winning against the Lapu Lapu into the first 2 minutes of the game is not
Nah.
a good sign.
And he's able to get out some of the gold plating too. So when he have his first item and onto the back, I think that's definitely going to be a damage. But hey, Phantom Steed already wasted away. Cody have to walk away without level 4. So onto the bottom lane though. Ram might try to engage. Hook gonna be missed out. No level 4 just yet for the mid Sutal here. So they don't really want to go for the engage. But the turtle is gonna be up here in seconds right now. Level 4 is gonna be needed for Mr. Cody here. So he's gonna take the level 4 here. Phantom Steed not yet available for Ake right now. But if he's able to get on time, they will be able to delay out onto this turtle take and wait for those ultimates to be online.
So, and that this should be a pretty easy turtle for the side of TV, but you know what, the Badang is here for the engage though, and of course the Farsa uses up the feather airstrike and the wings by wings at the same time, but the retribution will be
nice.
won away by Egg against the Fredrin, that too. So that's a very good use and wastage of utilizations, a good strategy coming in from the side of TV, while Karmis, they need to find a way to convert things a bit into their own favor because currently Carrie is winning a lane against Ranger.
This shouldn't have happened, man. It wasn't supposed to happen either. I think Pokey might be having some of a problem here, but on top of that, I think the Granger should be able to have all the winning condition.
No.
The wing. Oh man, that's another kill for the Minchital there. They can go for a pause or whatsoever, but hey, back to the game though. The 5-star Rem, I'm pretty sure this guy used to be a rumor, but anyway, he might be able to have a good rotation onto this mid lane side because that's where they're going to be starting here. The top lane is what they want to focus on, but a good rate coming through from the Intide as well. He's just stopping out for any kids coming through from event 2 so that they'll be able to get a good farm, but he's getting actually frozen by the carry here, so he might be dragging out a little bit, but King's calling. What? Oh.
Wow. I did that. That's the surprise element that you have, and even onto the top. Oh my! What is this? What is this, Mintatar? Oh my god! It's just like his name says. It must have been the wind. Oh my god!
Okay, that's actually a good kill coming through, even though he traded his life for that. That is a solo kill already. And I think they also are able to get out onto the bottom lane turret, so that's okay. But then again, I think the one kill onto the Granger 2 even taken down is gonna be delaying onto the stacks that he's gonna have with the Capriccio and of course the Sky Piece as well, because that's gonna be a one necessary item for Granger, and without it, I don't think he'll be having much of a damage either. So mid lane might be race fighter though.
Bit of an engage coming in from the side of Carmen's, but they aren't really able to convert that. Their draft, textbook wise, it is better, but somehow the amount of comfort that person, that EXP has on the Minsatar, I think that's what is changing the course of this game. Like, it's honestly impressive to see that comfort is so much better for the side.
Wow.
It's very complicated. Comfort or meta. It's a age-old thing. Age-old thing, you know?
Yeah. You can be too comfortable, but 2 horses already online. That's gonna be the King's Calling as well. 8 able to get a kill onto Nintai though, but Cody this time around will be able to go onto the turtle again. Pokey falling for the 3rd time in this game. Not the best Lapu Lapu match that is gonna be having for the airstrike. Just for the jump, but it's gonna be cancelled out. Look at that.
It's exactly the thing. And honestly, it's difficult for the side of Karmis to come back from this stage because that Minsatar is going to have a lot of burst damage every single time he uses up the King's Calling. And once you are caught, you are caught. And the Rem, that Farsa is on the
Oi.
Purify. Yeah, look at that. He's just gonna be hooking you and baiting that Purify every single time. And then there's the carry for the follow-up. So no matter how many times you try to run away, you can't. There's 2 people bursting you down.
Okay.
And there's the Flicker King's Calling right under the turret, pulling people right back in. I do not know if that's a network issue or something, but that Lapu Lapu needs to get his positioning checked.
Yeah, he needs to be the one who does the re-engage, re-initiation, and will be able to sustain onto that. But I think also the things have been done quite well by must have been the win onto the Minsita, because the way he was able to bait out Ram's Purify as well as the Wings by Wings, that made him a very, very good target for this team. And when they are fully engaging onto the far side, it's already a dead bird that we are witnessing, and they cannot really kind of go back for those engages because they don't have that main artillery that they are looking for and knock up onto the passive. There's no engage whatsoever for Cody right there with the retribution as well. But hey, I think it must have been the win doing something though.
They are looking for the engage, obviously, and the King's Calling is just way too useful right here. But this time around, he lost in terms, the numbers, and that's where Karmis won out a little bit. So that's a sigh of relief for them. But the carry is still on a 4-0-0, so they need to find that shutdown to him if they want to win it out, because that's 2k gold lead, and I feel like it's nearly a 1.5k lead single-handedly onto the carry itself.
Yeah, because of the 4-0 that he have right now. So they are trying to get onto this turret as well. Look at that though, Cody. He's still able to survive, but they all flicker.
Missed it. Missed the flicker. Definitely. Rem trying to get a little bit of that feather airstrike in. Yen will be able to find the kill though. And he has the Sky Piercer now. Gets the double. As well as the carry. Looking for the 3rd. Can he find it? He does. That's a triple. So that's 30 stacks of Sky Piercer for him right then and there. Which is a good thing. Honestly, Karmis can breathe a sigh of relief now because their sustain is coming back online for the first time in this game, and the Granger and the Parsa are getting their damage output back in.
Yeah, this is what they are actually waiting for, and good news for them too. They are actually able to get a shutdown onto the hands of Even rather than anyone else onto the carry as well. So that's what they want to look for. But look at that.
And like we can see, the Granger is trying to deal some damage as he possibly can, but the Hylos is just not the right target to do that. He just needs to find an angle to keep hitting the carry onto the back line, which is what he did, which is a good thing. But if they really want to sustain it out, yep, now he's dealing the damage. The Badang is also there, but now the Leomor will be using up the Glorious Pathway for a proper engage, trying to find a kill onto Mintai. Will find it. The Minsatar definitely locking in the Granger, but the Varsa this time with the positioning immaculately well done by the side of Karmis this time, kind of showing why they are on the global leaderboard right now. So I think that's a good thing for them right here.
Yeah, this is a bit of a comeback that they're trying to look for, and now they are trying to equalize onto the goal, which they are able to do so here. And I think most of the goal must be onto the hands of Yvan, onto the Granger right there, because he was able to get a 6 kill, which means after the Sky Piercer, so that is a 60 stack onto the Sky. A lot for the ticking freely for the side of Kalamis here. Twinkies, they need to be careful. They cannot re-engage right now, but Cotton Picker able to get a kill onto Ram, yet again a missed positioning coming through from the far side. and I think he got hooked with the yeah, he must be getting hooked by the main star, must have been the winner, has been able to catch out Ram time and again, and he's always racing out onto this purify. So next time he's got to be careful where the positioning is gonna be. But top lane though, I think they might want to focus onto that. Oh wait, there's another kill for the Granger again.
That's just the advantage of having that many Skypers or stags, because if you got frontline in front of you, you can deal an amazing amount of damage as a Granger, and that's exactly what Karm is playing around here. And even the Leomord and the Mincetar aren't able to sustain any longer, because even the Fredrin is going to be constantly interrupting you with taunts and the knockups, which
Yeah.
is just going to let the Farsa and the Granger have the time of their lives. Because, like I mentioned, sustain definitely in favor of Team Karmiz right here, and the Lord is gonna be charging in. Badang definitely zoning them far, far away. Ranger trying to
Oh,
get as far as possible, but the King's calling locks Nintaya as well as Pokey down, and they will be taken down. They and the side of Team Karmiz, they need to back up a little bit because they have lost two of their important players, and Team TV, they are still holding on.
I think it's definitely could have been a game ending moment for the side of Kami's here, but I think it's more of a good job well done with the King's Calling coming through from the side of must have been when he was able to stop the people on track. The Phantom Steed though, look at that.
They are looking in for the ultimates to be used up, and Egg definitely chasing down on Yin, who uses up the flicker for himself. But right now, Karma is still unable to find and engage into that situation. But for
Wow.
now, both teams will be escaping off safely.
It's been, I think the only reason why they were trying to go for the re-engagement is that, okay, never mind. That might be a taunt, look at that.
Yep, that's the taunt. And the Appraiser's Wrath is going to find the Mincetar this time on a 666. Not the best of numbers, obviously. But, I mean, that early game lead, it's kind of just gone now, and it's 3k in favor of Karmis right now.
Yeah, and I think it's mostly into the hands of Granger again here because he's the one with the soul damage dealing potential, and because of the shutdowns that he was able to get onto Wyron as well as all the members, but for the airstrike though, just for the zone, look at that.
He's definitely looking for the pickoffs right away. And I think at this point, the Farsa is the main damage dealer instead of the Granger, because those feathered airstrikes really hurt. And she is targeting
Yeah.
down the carry every single time. And that's the point, right? That's the whole point of zoning away the carry and the Mincetar so they cannot deal the damage. And she has been doing quite an amazing job at that.
That was also the reason why I wasn't really a big fan of the carry pick here, even though they were able to do so well into the early stages of the game. The first are kind of outrange them so much that you aren't able to do anything. So it kind of, their lineup for the side of TV is that they usually want to go for the synergetic kind of team fights because you don't want to waste out on the fury of the Phoenix before you see where the feather airstrike has been landed. You just don't want to waste that because of the long cooldown that it have. For Cotton Picker, he have to be very, very careful on when he's going to be unleashing out that ultimate, because I think most of the time right now, I think you don't really want to give out the first shot to have a free ulting time, and you need to cancel out that so that Viren here will be able to have a good free hitting potential. Now the Lord will be coming into the top lane. Look at that engage though.
Yep, the Lord is still at half HP, and Karmis can still convert this into a win, and the Lapu Lapu finally gets a stab, and the Appraiser's Wrath is gonna find two instantalization uses of the ultimate, and the carry trying to deal quite some amount of damage, but is not going to be able to sustain the amount of Sky Piercer damage that's coming in from the Granger right here as the feathered airstrike, and the base is going to fall into the hands of Karmis. First game with an amazing comeback from the global.
Amazing comeback. I think it could have been much more smoother, but into the early stages of the game, they weren't able to do anything. But hey, it was, they did make a comeback, and it was mainly in the hands of the Granger.
Exactly. So that Granger was the main win condition, and he was able to hold on to the game for his team. And honestly, that's what made all the difference. The Mincetar had an amazing early lead, but once the Forza got her items and she understood the game style of the Mincetar with the flicker and everything, She just positioned herself safely, and that
Ever wonder
managed
how the
to
clouds can
help them
soar
out a
so
lot.
high?
But with that,
It's
that's
because they're
just
not
game number
afraid
one,
to
and
fall.
we'll be back with game two very soon.
From round 11 onwards, teams earn bonus gold. Adapt your loadout and strategy to stay ahead. At the start of each round, you will receive random chaos fragments that boost your power. You can also refresh fragments to re-roll their effects, with 2 refreshes per round. The game offers a wide variety of fragments, each with unique effects, so you can mix and match to create your own playstyle. For example, tank fragments make your hero tougher and deal damage back to attackers. Marksmen who pick range-enhancing fragments can safely deal damage from afar. And that's just the start! Countless other powerful fragments and combinations are ready for you to try. As rounds progress, the Annihilation Tide starts shrinking across the map. Heroes outside the tide take sustained damage. Master this mechanic, and it can swing the battle in your favor. For instance, heroes with knockback or displacement abilities can push enemies into the tide. Surprise your opponents and watch them struggle against the sustained.
Welcome back to the second game of match 2 between TV and Team Karmiz, where in the first game we saw Team Karmiz pull off amazing comeback. And honestly, it felt like seeing something straight out of the movies with the way that Granger and Farsa managed to pull off their damage, and that one triple kill in the team fight on the top side changed the course of the entire game. This will be me, Sarah, once again alongside Debbie, and we will be the casters for quite possibly the final game of the night, unless Karmiz makes any mistakes and TV
Butterflies
secures a
born by
1-1
thy
for
wish,
themselves.
guided by
That
Lantern's
was what
light.
we were looking for here. So let's see how the ban is going to be looking like because got banned away by TV and the Jushin always got to go. It's always a must ban. But then again, they need to ban away another hero. And I think at this point of a time, I'm pretty unsure what can be removed here. They can just for the annoying heroes ban. Wow, they respected the Fredrin and they are gonna be banning away the Fredrin here. So first pick coming through from the side of Kermis.
The clouds
So
are ever
what is
shifting where
open?
King's heart
Sora. There we
remains
go.
steadfast.
Yeah, that's going to be an insta-lock pick, obviously. And even if TV decides to go in for the Valentina here, they will be lacking in terms of sustain once again. And I mean, yeah, the Mincetar, it was a kind of a flex pick, maybe a comfort pick at best for them. It worked out early on, it didn't work out in the late game, obviously. But this time around, the Valentina is a far, far more meta, far, far more reliable choice, I would say, on the EXP, along with the Leomord. We might see a Freya onto the gold lane this time for the side of
Oh.
Karmiz or TV, but still, the carry is open.
for the
And instead,
ultimate
Karmiz
answer.
decides to go in for a Hilda pick, quite possibly.
Will it grant
Oh, okay,
Oh.
immortality?
okay. They're gonna force the Sora towards the gold, and it's gonna be Alice on the EXP.
I've always liked an Alice because in this current scenario, it's like whenever the XP laners are gonna be winning, you don't really have the ways to try to contest onto those neutral objective. But then again, with the Alice, you kind of neutralize onto that. You give a 1v1 situation for the opposing side, and then you try to catch up to however the rotation is gonna be happening. So Alice can never go wrong. But onto the other side, though, TVs, they're gonna be going for the same pattern. The carry, yet again, not a big fan. They should ban out the Farsa if they don't want the carry to struggle.
Come on, Dexter. It's our
And
showtime.
guess what? The carry has been locked in by TB this time. I mean, it was so obvious the carry pick here with those three tanky frontliners. It's a very valid pick in this draft coming in from Wyvern, but and the Claude pick as well justified. They might ban out on the. Oh no, they cannot. Oh, they could have banned out on the Granger. I mean, oh
Yeah.
no, wait, they do not
Oh,
need to ban.
goal.
Wait a minute. Why did they
They
ban out the
ban.
Claude
That's
when the
what.
Sora is on the gold?
I've thought that they could ban out the Farsa just in case because the security already.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. This is kind of unpredictable, and there's always gonna be limited bans, right? And you cannot really give away a lot of heroes too. And the fact is that the carry is not the best option to go against the Elise either because of the range that the Elise can provide. But look at that, finally something good. It's gonna be a Valentina onto the XP lane against an Elise. Okay. So the Kadita should be into the mid here, unless it goes for the roam, because I mean I don't recommend a Kadita roam here in this scenario against the Hilda 2 Ram. Can go for his signature Kimi though.
I mean, yeah, the signature Kimmy along with the Yisun Shin with the two-fighter sideline, yeah, that was just a very
Mhm.
given, very obvious kind of draft coming in. The only thing they need to watch out for is try to CC the carry every single time, like we saw Zohan do to Crisis in match one.
Yeah.
I think that
Mm.
is something exactly what Karmis will be aiming to do this time around. But the Kimi also needs to play it safe because there's a Kadita this time around, and it's again going to be the double horse combination to the
Oh,
side of TV, but this time with a carry.
yeah. They love horses, man. So TVs. I think they can do something here. So this definitely means that it's gonna be the Valentina into the XP side. I don't know what he's gonna be able to do with the against the Alice. If it is against the Sora, that could have been a possible option. But hey, they do have Cotton Picker this time around onto the Kadita, so I think they might be able to play with the pick off types. But then again, the only one that you can pick off at this point of a time is gonna be the Yi Shin, and then the Yi Shin should not have his Traceless so that you can get petrified upon and get the pick off before it even started. So let's see how they'll be able to perform.
And it's going to be the land of dawn before us once again, ladies and gentlemen. Fourth game that we are seeing this evening, quite possibly night now, but that's okay because we are getting to see some really amazing games. Zohan came back with the reverse sweep after they had a 1 point deficit due to timing issues. But this time around, we are seeing a global squad Karmis pull off some amazing comebacks against one of the underdog teams of India. And this game, both the drafts look amazingly strong, and it will be a game of the equals because of the early poke coming in. The Hilda gets bursted by the damage from the Kadita as well as the Leomord, but Rem is himself doing quite an amazing job of poking down the Hylos as well as Leomord and forcing them to back off.
I think it's they wasted out 2 resources right there into that team fight too. So it's equally in favor for both of the sides here. Rem, he's gonna have to be the bully for the Hylos there, so that's definitely gonna mean that they'll be able to rotate further and faster. And yeah, the questionable thing that I was actually mentioned about most must have been the win onto the Valentina against an Alice. That is not the best case scenario that I would want. The Valentina is usually played against the Sora so that you'll be able to have a good ultimate for you as well. But against the Alice, I don't think it's really worth it. This might eventually become a default pick that they have for themselves. But we'll see how when I mean the later part of the game where he's able to pick out all those events out from and then try to go for all of those engages. But for now though, the turtle will be up to again in seconds here. Level 4 for both of the jungles, and I think this might be a contest for both of the sides.
So the first turtle should be equal, but then the Yisun Shin has the Mountain Shocker, and Cody is kind of really good on the Yisun Shin. And the way the Alice and the Hilda are marking down Geo right there, I think it's not going to be an easy job. And even Kadita has used up the ultimate, and he doesn't have the first kill. Alice definitely gets the Curse of Blood. Oh no, the ultimate all of them onto the backside, but the problem is they didn't even stand a chance to come forward once the Hylos got taken down.
Yeah, this is why I was questioning out the Valentina pick onto the XP lane side. It could have been something entirely different that can have a good rotation into this turtle here, because you don't want to give out the first turtle when you have a Leomord. The Leomord kind of need that first turtle. Phantom Steed, look at that.
They are looking in for the defending kind of an engage. I mean, like they see the side of Karmiz come in and they use up their skills to just try and run away. That's not a good thing for a draft like the Leomord and Hylos and everything, because with Hylos you would prefer to go in and engage yourself. And I think the only problem with the Hylos here is the Kimmy, because she is not going to let you
Yeah.
stand in peace. And with the way the goal lane is being won out by the Sora right now, the carry, I think she's kind of gonna have the same fate as Crisis had.
Yeah, this is why we don't want any carry to come through most of the time. And Nintai, I think they do know that the Hylos is not gonna be the tankiest into the early stages of the game, and when you are losing out onto the lane as well. But oh wait, even look at that.
He was looking in for the title surge, trying to go in with the damage ultimate. But Khadija did find the blade of the rough waves onto a rim, but she was able to run away with that Kimmy. Poki is here for the backup as well, but it's going to be a proper 5v5, and then finally
Oh.
Valentina finally getting that Sora ultimate, but no overengage coming in from GU right away, and now Egg is gonna get caught as well, and now damage ultimate will be used up by Yen instead, and the Valentina kind of just looks like a waste right now.
Yeah, this is why I kind of feel like it's more of a default pick rather than a counter pick, because they are in a completely opposite lane and you don't really want that. But hey Cody, yeah, you gotta, yeah, I thought he was going for the 1v1. Look at that, he is going for a 1v1, and I think he's won it out against the I think this is the reason why the carry hasn't been picked often. Without the flicker, you're completely in a mercy for all of those who have a lot of big and mobility though. Look at that.
I think it's looking pretty good for Karmiz right here, and despite Valentina using up the ultimate at the right time, she wasn't able to sustain. And that is exactly the problem with the Valentina on the opposite lane of Sora. You do not get to use the ultimates as many times as you would want to. And they finally swapped out the lane since it's been
What?
5 minutes. But by now, the amount of lead that Team Karmiz has secured is just going to be enough to let their damage dealers farm up as much as they possibly can. And that leaves no space for the side of TV, to walk around the map.
Then they are always joining them away from their own turrets here. One turret down and another one is what they want here. They will be able to cut it out with the minions as well. And I think, as a Yi Xianxin, of course, you're going to be needing all of those creeps. But the cross-map play is kind of are always in favor for a Yi Xianxin, because if you give him all the gold, he is able to get all of those items in a very, very early situation. And that's where you always want to engage. Traction Pulse, though, kind of not landing onto anyone here just for the John. That's going to be a glorious pathway used just to save out onto this mid lane turret here. Very important. But I think Karmiz, they just want to go look for the fight here.
I think that the only way TB gets to come back from here is to let the carry get to full build. But with the way Team Karmiz are dominating the map right now, taking down even almost the tier 2 onto the mid side, like the zone is definitely there. The Gal is definitely trying to go in for the ultimate, and the Sora looking for a counter engage as well. The Valentina, though, definitely trying to protect her team as much as she can, but Cody has the damage she needs. Carry did get a kill, but it is not going to be enough for the side of TV to stand up as long as they would have wanted to. And that just is going to give the side of Team Karmiz more lead to take down the turrets up top.
2 levels deficit for Egg onto the Leomord against Cody. That is a Yi Xianxin, by the way, with 2 turtles already onto his kid. And I don't think you really want to do that. Skypiercer already built up by Ram, purifying away from the Phantom Steed, and the Torn of Ruin also kind of used by Pookie so that they won't be taken down anytime soon. But hey, the turtle is up again, and Karmis looks like they are all set and ready to go for the team fights after this turtle is taken, because that is gonna be giving them a lot of gold lead yet again. Look at that.
Yep, the Alice is there for the zone as much as possible, and Yen just using up damage ultimate as warning shots, quite possibly, because he doesn't really want a turret dive right here. But yeah, that's a mistake. That's
Oh,
the mistake we were talking about. Poki barely manages to dodge the rough waves, but now Rem is there for the backup, and the damage has been done as Egg gets taken down. So that's one member down, and Team Karmiz once again will be locking down the turrets before it even hits the 10-minute mark. So those heavenly shields should be a sigh of relief for the side of TV, but if they cannot defend their
what?
inhibitors, because they're letting their high lows die every single time just because of that Kimmy and Yesun Shin.
Yeah, it's so annoying to play in Hylas in this kind of scenario. This is why I kind of don't like the Hylas to be picked early on. The Gimme kind of stacks up using the Hylos as the way for the energy to be backed on, and I think this is also the reason why he's kept on getting taken down. I hope that he is on the Radiant Armor, because that's going to be completely necessary. But like you already said, they are cracking open all the outer turrets here. Look at that, and gets those done.
Definitely, the Sora is trying to look for something, but so is the Valentina. This time
What?
around, the engage was quite good from must have been the wind, but there was no backup from his team, and that's just exactly what goes wrong when you're playing a hero, and nobody really expects you to get a setup this late in the game.
This is. I think they could have gone for those setup into the early stages and could have win it out, but now they're so behind to the goal, and this is definitely not in favor for them. 10k goal lead already into the hands of Kermis, and they are knocking at the door. Look at that. Valentina, another set?
Yep, the Sora this time around definitely gets a lot of stuns onto that Leomord, forcing Egg to back off right inside the base, and there we go, Yisun Shin comes back in with the Mountain Chopper. Kadita trying to look for the rough waves onto Rem, and he will be able to escape, dodge it by a little margin, and the
Oh,
Mountain Chakra will be used up as well, but Karvis decides to back off because it's the Lord which is up, and both of the damage dealers are a bit low for their comfort, and yeah, they're just gonna be securing the Lord.
this should be a way for ends for Kermis, for them to end out in this best of 3 series here, because there should not be a contest coming through from the side of TV too, and if they don't contest it, they're going to be losing it out anyway. And the fast lot take, because of the seasons, together with the Kimi, and this is definitely going to be the fastest lot take that we have seen so far. And they already lost out all of their inhibitors too, and I don't think the carry is already. He's still not gonna be onto the Trinity too, because of the amount of damage that he's lacking. Yeah, that's not really the best case scenario for them. The Lord, which is not really evolved by the way, just 10-minute Lord, but then again, it's still a possible end for the side of Kermis to do so. It will be much into the mid lane side. One set of the Throne of Ruin, and I think that may be a done deal for Kermis.
And honestly, right now, Karmi seems to be leading in pretty well. The Glorious Pathway will be used up to try and defend and slow down the Lord with the Sora and the Alice. The combination is right there for them. They are getting as much of the setup as they can. Two members are already down from the side of TV, and
Okay.
Team Karmis is just going to be locking down on the base. That's going to be a very easy push for them now that the damage dealers were out of the map. But that's going to be a straight 2-0 for them, and that's going to help them secure a spot into the quarters, which will be starting this weekend. But ladies and gentlemen, that is Team Karmas for you, securing a 2-0.
A clean sweep onto this best of 3 series. A well played coming through from the side of TV as well, but they cannot really match up to the 11k goal lead that Kermis already accumulated. This must have been one of the fastest games that we have seen so far as of today. But Winter Showdown, man, this was amazing setup coming through for all the teams that we have seen so far. Some already, 2 teams will be going down, the 2 teams will be going out for the next round, which is the quarterfinals. Then we're going to be seeing you there yet again, and I hope you are ready for the next rounds to come.
A brand new mode is coming to MLBB. Chaos Clash. Team up in trios, begin at level 3, and fight on a fresh map with no minions or turrets. During the preparation phase, grab Chaos Fragments to boost your power. As the match goes on, the Annihilation Tide emerges, pushing the action to the limit. Here's a closer look at how this new mode works. Chaos Clash is a multi-round 3 versus 3 mode. Wipe out the entire enemy team to win the round. Teams lose HP each time they are defeated. If a team's HP drops to 0, they're eliminated. Rounds continue until only one champion remains. When there's an odd number of teams, one team will sit out the round. After certain rounds, heroes automatically level up and earn gold. Use this time to buy equipment and boost your power. All full equipment except boots costs 2,000 gold. From round 11 onwards, teams earn bonus gold. Adapt your loadout and strategy to stay ahead. At the start of each round, you will receive random Chaos Fragments that boost your power. You can also refresh fragments to re-roll their effects, with 2 refreshes per round. The game offers a wide variety of fragments, each with unique effects, so you can mix and match to create your own playstyle. For example, tank fragments make your hero tougher and deal damage back to attackers. Marksmen who pick range-enhancing fragments can safely deal damage from afar. And that's just the start! Countless other powerful fragments and combinations are ready for you to try. As rounds progress, the Annihilation Tide starts shrinking across the map. Heroes outside the tide take sustained damage. Master this mechanic, and it can swing the battle in your favor. For instance, heroes with knockback or displacement abilities can push enemies into the tide. Surprise your opponents and watch them struggle against